Okay, so next we're going to go to departmental reports and we're going to have our lieutenant give us a report for the police.
One just okay.
All right. Good evening, everybody. I'm for the visitors in the back. I'm Lieutenant Christy Calderoot. I work for the police department, and I currently run our traffic division. So I'm going to just go over the previous month's report of what's happening with the PD specific to traffic. So most of you have probably heard there was a press release put out on this particular collision, but we had a fatal collision on September 15th of this year at Aviara Parkway and Cobblestone. And the suspect who was driving the vehicle unfortunately was intoxicated and crashed into a pole where his passenger wife was killed. And the DA, the district attorney, is filing charges of homicide on this particular driver because he has prior DUIs where there was serious injuries involved. So he is in jail right now with multiple charges, including homicide, DUI with serious injuries, driving without a license, and a couple other charges. So I'll probably have an update on that in some upcoming months to see what happens with the DA's case. Community outreach and education-wise, we have motors. Our motorcycle officers are out and about. We try to do as much preemptive work with the schools once the school year starts to address the children that are walking as pedestrians or riding their bikes to school. So the motors are going to the elementary schools and conducting presentations at the assemblies. So far we've done Magnolia Elementary, and we are going to be doing Calavera Elementary this week on Thursday. A lot of the outreach is trying to get the kids to realize that as pedestrians they also have a responsibility to obey the crossing guards and maintain safety. And then we try to also address the bicycle safety with wearing helmets and things they can do to get to school safely each day. We did get a grant, so we applied for what's called an OTS grant. So the California Office of Traffic Safety has just given us $90,000 for the next year. So it started on October 1st. It will run until September 30th of 2020. And what it will entail is basically paying for the overtime for all of our officers to conduct saturation details, DUI checkpoints, saturation of collision hotspots throughout our city, which this is amazing because a lot of times we are asking city council for the overtime budget, but we are getting this overtime now through a grant. So we're going to have a lot of different details coming up a couple times a month for the next year. Schools, so we partnered with engineering, and there was a recent study conducted at Contour Place and Strata Drive, and they're based off the study, a crossing guard is warranted. This is going to address the Calavera schools. So we're in the process right now of renewing our contract with the crossing guard company, and also they are in the process of trying to hire that particular spot for a crossing guard. So that'll be filled hopefully within the next week or two. And then in regards to the schools, like I said in the first part of the presentation, that we're doing a lot of trying to do as much preemptive work in the very beginning of the school year to address not only the students but also the parents that are driving their kids to schools, to get them to obey the laws and just be really cognizant of their surroundings. So with that, our officers have just been at the schools every morning, drop off and during the pickup times. Our SROs, which are our school resource officers, and then our senior volunteers have also been helping with this. We've gotten a lot of positive feedback based off of seeing uniformed officers and uniformed volunteers in the area of our schools. And we've been honing in on Calavera, Magnolia, Valley, and CHS this month, and our plan is to kind of rotate. We do hit all the other schools in the area. I don't want to say that we're only focusing on these, but we try to kind of move around to provide resources in different areas of the city based off of all the schools that we are responsible for. And that's all I have. Are there any questions?
Why do the police men leave their cars on when they
Running?
stop at the school, yes. There's a lot of parents, I'm the PTA president at Valley, and they, every time they see a police car, they take off. So I get all this message, what's going on? I'm like, nothing, it's just normal, they just come to check and,
Right, we're just
which
there
is
for-
because, I think.
So they leave the cars on, we have a lot of technology inside the cars, including our computers, our radios, and if you turn it off, then your computer will die. So then they have to reboot it every time they get a call. So that's why they leave them on. Yeah.
We said so before the parents.
I'm glad that they're staying in there.
Oh, yeah, no, it's at Valley, they're like every day.
Good.
So-
If the overhead lights are on, it'll kill the battery too.
Yeah.
So you want to start the car, it won't work.
Yes, I'm more informed. Any other questions for Tony? Yeah.
Yeah, Lieutenant, there was, I believe last month, there was a pedestrian versus train.
Yes, at Grand and the tracks, yes.
Yeah, is there any, did you shed any light or just information?
I have not heard if there was any drugs or alcohol
Okay.
involved, but it appears like the person was not obeying the crossing arms that came down and
Mhm, okay.
was hit and initially was transported and then was pronounced deceased on the way to the hospital.
Okay.
The news article said that he ran into the train as it was.
He was on his bicycle is what I heard.
But
So I don't
But he
know.
literally like rode his bicycle into the train.
Yeah, so I don't know if it was a suicide type of situation or statistics show at that particular crossing that there's usually alcohol involved. So I think we're kind of waiting on the toxicology if that's possible.
Congratulations on your grant.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, we're
Sounds amazing.
super excited about it. And they gave us more money than we asked for, so we were happy. Yeah. Like, we'll take it.
Well, good with that now.
Very unusual.
Yes.